Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, I guess, depending on where you are in the world. Could be evening. Just a quick audio video slide check here. Just make sure you can see us, our shining faces here. You can see the slide deck that's up there. You can hear my voice. If you don't mind, just type a Y in the question box there. And that'll just let us know that it's all coming through okay. Let's see what we got. Got a bunch of people piling in here. Okay. All right, looks good. All right, fantastic. All right, so officially, hello. Welcome everybody to today's special presentation. A Wall Street veteran drops bombshell announcement. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm John Madison, your host on behalf of FFR Trading here, and we're excited you've joined us for what could be one of the most important trading events of the year as we unveil a brand new approach to options trading with Ian Cooper and his Cooper Options Trading University. Before we go too far here, just know that everything we talk about today is for educational purposes only. Trading involves risk, and past performance never guarantees future results. For those of you that don't know who we are here at FFR Trading and what our role is here, our mission is simple. It's to connect individual investors and traders with verified professional traders who have real audited performance. We've been in business since 2006. We proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We maintain a 4.7 star Google rating from real clients. Our role is to perform deep due diligence, verifying every trader, every strategy that we promote so you can invest with confidence. We're here not only to introduce you to top tier strategies, but to support you every step of the way through education, client care, and personalized strategy sessions. So let's bring in the man of the hour here. Let's talk about Ian Cooper. Ian's been helping traders grow and protect their wealth since 1999. Over the last 25 years, he's taught thousands how to combine technical, fundamental, and news flow analysis to anticipate market moves before they happen. We'll get into a lot of that strategy here in just a bit. He's the creator of the Ad News Flow strategy, which trades the anticipation, dissemination, and depth of news events, a method that exploits herd mentality to find early opportunities. He spotted the 2008 financial crisis before it happened, the collapse of Lehman Brothers, even predicted gold's rally above 1,500 when it was still under 600. So he's a disciplined, research-driven trader who believes that structure beats speculation every time. So Ian, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, there we go. Just testing your mic out. Everything sounds good. Looks like we can see and hear you okay. Ian, let's go into some of your premium level programs here. So you've got a lot of different programs that are very popular with our clients, and it was kind of a groundswell of clients who wanted to see that all these kind of programs are kind of put under one roof, if you will. So we created the Cooper Options Trading University. It was built to give structure and some discipline and flexibility between the programs, whether you're looking for short-term momentum or long-term consistency and so on. So it's divided into two main levels. We've got premium and entry-level programs. So the premium level programs, and we'll go through each one just a little bit because each one is there's subtle differences obviously between each one here. So NETA, your news event trader program, that focuses on kind of what I touched on earlier. The how do you say it, Ian? It's the dissemination of news, anticipation, dissemination, and depth of news. Is that it?
Anticipation, dissemination, and depth of news.
All right, talk about that just a little bit. What you look for with the NETA program.
Well, we're simply trading, news flow. We're anticipating certain reactions to news. So, for example, if AMD or NVIDIA has an analyst day coming up, we can trade the anticipation of the momentum prior to that, which we've done successfully. We're still trading in NVIDIA actually right now, and NVIDIA is one of the one of the three opportunities I'm going to share later on. We traded dissemination of news, which is kind of interesting. You know, you throw a rock into a pond and it ripples out, and the same thing happens with news. Just continues to ripple out until eventually that news cycle dies. And then, of course, you have death of news, which is the death of the ripple effect. And if a stock moved up too high or down or came down too much, you can trade the death of the event that caused that to happen. And then usually what you'll see happen is the stock in question will pivot in the other direction.
All right, fantastic. And we'll take a look a little deeper at Neta, I think, when you get into your presentation. And then you've got your tech stocks program, which focuses on, you know, large liquid tech stocks, basically NASDAQ, and that's weekly and monthly options. And you use certain momentum indicators to trade that. So maybe just talk about tech stocks a little bit and how that's a little bit different than your Neta program.
Well, we've been trading a lot of artificial intelligence, especially with news of capital expenditures coming out from the big tech names. So that's been driving a lot of AI stocks higher, including, you know, NVIDIA and AMD again. So we can also trade. We've also traded quantum computing. We've also traded some of the SMH ETF, which is semiconductors ETF. So there's a lot of significant opportunities, especially in tech, especially after all the bubble talk in AI, which, you know, I personally, I still don't see any bubble when it comes to AI, especially with all the CapEx spending coming in.
Yeah, excellent insights. And then you've got your quick moves program. Obviously, that is shorter momentum type option plays. Just talk briefly about that one.
With that one, we're simply looking for quick, very, very quick moves in less than, you know, a week's time. We want to get in, we want to get out. We're using, you know, a set technical parameters, you know, your RSI, Williams percentage range, MACD, things like that, that are going to tell us exactly when a stock is likely to pivot in the other direction, especially after a major move.
And the one of my favorites, one of your later programs here, or latest programs here, is the Algo AI program. And that is real interesting because you focus on the dark pools. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, dark pools are hidden institutional trades. So those hidden institutional trades are not really made public among retail investors. So if we can tap into that, we pay another program to feed us that information so that when we pick up, you know, hey, such and such institution just picked up $1 million worth of call options or $1 million worth of put options, we want to dive into exactly why they may have done so. We're not privy to their research, of course. All we're seeing is, you know, they just spent a lot of money on calls or puts, and we're going to dig into fundamentally and technically why that happened.
Excellent. And I know you've had a lot of success, and it's a very popular program, as we'll see. And I think you'll talk more about that in a bit here. Then you have what we call entry-level programs. So don't be fooled that, you know, performance-wise, these hold their own. You've got Trigger Point and Triple Crown. I think your Trigger Point uses some of those indicators that you talked about. You know, I think money flow, your Bollinger Bands. Talk about a little bit about Trigger Point.
Those are longer term opportunities. We're also using full stochastics on that as well. We're using money flow and several other technical pivot points that let us know what herd mentality may be overreacting or underreacting to an event that we can take full advantage of.
All right, awesome. And then somebody was just asking about your Triple Crown program. So talk about Triple Crown. Is this a newer program as well, Ian?
It is. It's our weekly video-based program. It's typically, I try to get it out over the weekends, but the very latest on Monday. You know, we're simply looking for, you know, a lot of different momentum-based opportunities based on, you know, news, what we're finding fundamentally or technically, or just, you know, a thematic trade like quantum or AI that we've been digging into most recently.
And I've just got to read something came up in the question box from one of the listeners here, the viewers. Let me just see if I can read their comment here. It said, I followed one of your trade alerts for Apple in August. He said, I also bought some more, but accidentally clicked the wrong expiration date and made $38,000 in one day. Changed my life. Thank you.
That's a mistake I'd love to make.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good. It's Autumn, I think it's Autumn, that usually mistakes in trading don't work in your favor, but this time it did. It paid off big, so good for you. And that's one of the benefits of following Ian. He'll have you on the right side of the trades for sure. So speaking of some of the trades, here's some of the more recent trades. Now this is from what we call within the options university, from trades from all the different programs maybe in here, so they're kind of mixed up. But some of the trades, the recent trades, you exited some AMD, and you talked about AMD just a moment ago. This was the 130 calls, and this is, so one of the things that is unique to you and your programs, Ian, is you do take partial profit. So you'll scale out, if you will. You might sell some contracts or part of the position at a certain level and then let the rest ride. And that's kind of unique to you. So when you see some of these, you've got a same trade, but 33% win and then 201%. It's because you've broken that trade up into parts and scaled out. Is that correct?
Yeah, what I like to do is along the way, if we can protect wins along the way, we're going to do so. It's your choice if you want to follow that or not, but we like to do that just to lock in wins and then let the other half run a bit longer. Usually we like to do that with a triple digit return, but sometimes if we see a nice win, we don't want to just sit on it and hope for the best. We want to take our money and move on, or just wait for the other half to move even more.
And that's probably, helped the performance too, especially during crazy like tariff news. Market changes direction in a heartbeat. So it's probably good locking in profits along the way. Another AMD, that was the 120 calls. That was a 174% win on one exit there. Roblox, I think that's the RBLX. That was September 125 calls, and that was broken into two parts, 56%, 72%. TTWO, that was September. That was the 232.50 calls for a win of 83% and 41%. I mean, these numbers are insane. For those of you that, if you're struggling to do this on your own, adding a few of these programs to your arsenal could go a long way, as Autumn had just talked about. This is a life-changing trade in just one trade there. Then you've got AMD again. So you like AMD, going back to that, 576% winner and 878% winner. And I think some of these you're going to show in your presentation here. NVIDIA, you talked about that one, 113%, 200%, broken up into two parts there. And then Apple, that was the November 265 calls for a win of 30%. So some fantastic numbers. And again, I know you're going to go a little deeper now into your when you get into your presentation here. So I think across your systems, the average monthly return has ranged from like 19% to 29%. That's the monthly returns. With win rates, I think your Algo AI, I think it is like 88%. So we'll get into the numbers deeper in a bit here.
Yeah, I also want to point out that, these numbers are very impressive, but along the way, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and we're not going to sit here and tell you that we are. We do have our losses along the way, but we try to use stop losses, at least mental stop losses. And we have had some trades go fully against us because we may have held it for a bit too long because we saw a pivot that we were attracted to.
Yeah, of course. As always, we say that these results are historical examples, right? Trading involves risks, and there are never guarantees, right? But the discipline and structure behind the numbers speak for themselves. So, all right, so let's get ready for Ian's presentation here. And when Ian is done, we'll come back, we'll go over everything that comes with being a student at the Options Trading University. We'll have a Q&A with Ian as well. All right, so Ian, I'm gonna pass over to you and get ready. And hopefully you get that little pop-up there.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Yep, I see your screen.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Can everyone see that okay?
I can see your Wall Street slide.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Wanted to walk you through some of our programs, how they work. Along the way, we're also going to share with you some trading opportunities that we are actively in or are actively watching at the moment. Wanted to start out with how our news program works. It's also called News Event Trade Alert. And for quite some time, we've all been told that we couldn't trade the news, that news is automatically priced in upon its release. But that's not true. And that's the idea of what's called EMT, or efficient market theory, which really doesn't carry any weight any longer. And like I said, it no longer holds weight because a theory does not account for friction of news flow. So for example, if you have an intended reach of 100 people and only 30 of them get the news in the morning, the other 70 who receive the news that night haven't had an opportunity to react. We also have to realize that there are literally now hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of different news sources where different people get different news throughout the day that they're reacting to at multiple different times. And one of the things that allows us to trade the news is anticipation of news. And this is kind of the snowball theory, where you start out with a very small snowball and you roll it down a hill. And as you begin to roll it down the hill, it becomes bigger and bigger. It begins to build momentum. And the very same thing happens with stocks. If we can spot a potential story ahead of the herd, we can take a position and wait. We can get a jump start with our tiny little snowball. And then when investors begin to wake up to the opportunity, our snowball, our stock, gets bigger and bigger and picks up momentum. Now, typically, we can do this with FDA stocks facing an upcoming FDA decision, a phase 3 trial data release, a PDUFA date, or even an advisory panel committee date. We also did this with oil stocks with the latest war, for example. With biotech, one of the best ways to trade biotech in the anticipation of news is to watch obesity stocks, such as Viking Therapeutics, which is symbol VKTX. I believe that they are nearing phase 3 data. They also have a potential oral treatment for weight loss as well. That's that they're working on. With anticipation of news, we've also been able to trade gold. Gold has probably been one of the easiest trades this year because of market uncertainty, geopolitical tensions, economic issues, the likelihood of further interest rates cuts from the Federal Reserve. You know, we've been in and out of gold many, many different times because it's been such an easy opportunity based on everything that's happening around the world. You even have Wells Fargo and Morgan Stanley now saying that gold could range between 4,500 and 4,700 by the end of next year. You also have Goldman Sachs that's been bullish as well. And the reason that you saw the recent pullback in gold was because of a good deal of profit taking recently. But now with gold a bit overextended to the downside, it's a good idea to potentially consider going long gold again. Now you can buy physical gold, which is always a good idea, or you can buy individual stocks like Barrick Gold or Newmont Mining, or you can trade an ETF such as the GDX ETF, which is a great trading opportunity as well. We can trade the dissemination of news. Again, millions of us receive our news at different times of the day. And you have to think of dissemination of news like throwing a rock in a pond. and you get that ripple effect. That ripple effect is the same exact thing that happens with news. And until the news dies, until the ripple effect in the pond dies, you can continue to trade the same story based on the strength of a particular story. We did this recently with AMD. AMD has been extremely explosive for the market and for our portfolio as well. At some points, there was a lot of talk about an AI bubble, which negatively impacted AMD. We knew that was an overblown issue, so we raced into AMD call options and have been trading AMD consistently for quite some time now. AMD is up again today. Despite what you're seeing in this chart, AMD is up about $24 a share today alone. So that's been a nice return there as well. Actually, we just traded AMD call options, new ones, earlier this week, and we were up about 50% as of today. So that's not a bad return for just a few days. We can also look, when it comes to the dissemination of news, we can look at quantum computing stocks as well, such as this one, IONQ. Quantum computing is a game changer for technology. We do expect for quantum computing stocks to explode even higher. IONQ, RGTI, for example, and QUBT, we expect for all of them to double, if not triple, over the long term. We strongly believe quantum computing will be a game changer for multi-billion dollar industries out there. So that's one to definitely pay close attention to. And then, of course, you have the death of news. And eventually news dies. That ripple effect dies. And as it does, so do the stocks associated with it. And you can look at COVID stocks like Moderna, for example. It exploded as the severity of COVID news was initially disseminated years ago. Then once the COVID story faded and life resumed some kind of normalcy, Moderna and related COVID stocks fell off a cliff and died. And you can see that here. We see examples like this one with the death of news multiple times a day, because eventually, with all news cycles fade off and die. And if you can spot where that happens, you can make some good money. And the way that we're able to spot that is by simply watching technical pivot points driven by herd mentality. RSI, MACD, Williams percentage range, money flow, Bollinger Bands. And when they all agree in either oversold or overbought territory, that's typically where your buy opportunity comes into play. Here are some of the recent wins and losses that we have seen with News Event Trade Alert since late June. And as you can see, we're not perfect all the time. And at sometimes we have taken a full loss because we did see a particular pivot point come into play, and then it kind of just fell apart and went to crap, and along with it went our profits. But more often than not, we're seeing solid wins across the board. We also wanted to touch base on Algo AI, which includes dark pools. And again, dark pools are private exchanges where large trades are conducted away from the public eye, primarily by institutional investors and significant market participants. These dark pools allow major firms to execute substantial orders without substantially impacting the overall market. So, and by tapping into this data, which we pay for, options traders can uncover insights that are not readily available to you and I or other retail investors through your traditional market channels. And our ability to see inside the trading activities of institutions sets us apart and allows us to trade these dark pools of information. And if you have further questions about how dark pools work, let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. With our Algo AI trading rules, we start by identifying dark pool trades with transaction values above 500,000. The more money a firm invests, the more confident they appear to us. So if they're investing maybe 50,000, that doesn't really exude much confidence, at least in our opinion. And once we find an attractive opportunity or multiple attractive opportunities in a single stock, for example, I try to identify why a firm or multiple firms may be bullish or bearish on that particular security. And we'll also look into it as far as what's happening in the news cycle and what's happening technically. Now, technically, Algo AI also uses a combination of technical pivot points, RSI, Williams, full stochastics, money flow, and Bollinger Bands as well. And here's an example of what we typically look at every morning. We quite literally see hundreds and hundreds of examples just like these every day. And again, we're looking at transactional values above $500,000. We like it even more if a firm invests more than $1 million into a particular call or put option, for example. So this is an example of the dark pools that we're looking at every day. So we'll take one of these and look into why, a firm may be bullish on NVIDIA, having spent more than $500,000 on, let's say, if you can see my cursor here, the December 19, 2025, 205 calls. And they spent more than $500,000 here on that transaction. So we'll dig into why and what's happened fundamentally and technically with NVIDIA. And probably one of the reasons that there are so many bulls on NVIDIA right now is because NVIDIA is nearing earnings over the next few days, which many people expect to be very, very explosive. So NVIDIA is still a very solid opportunity for investors looking for opportunity. And you can see here we've traded NVIDIA on and off here. And a lot of times we can, tell when to get in and out of NVIDIA simply based on RSI, MACD, Williams percentage range. So for example, when RSI dips to or below its 30 line, MACD pulls back too much from the mean, and Williams percentage range drops under its 80 line, we have a severely oversold situation on our hands, and we did trade this. Other times, you'll have a dip in RSI to nearly 30, a dip in MACD, and a dip in Williams percentage range, which also gave us an opportunity here to trade NVIDIA here as well. We actually traded around that territory right there and took some nice gains along the way. We did the same thing with Apple. Apple has been super explosive in the markets as well. Every time it becomes oversold or overbought, we like to just jump into Apple and take some quick returns and walk away and then come back when everything looks like it's going to pivot in the other direction again. So Apple is definitely one to always keep an eye on moving forward as well. We can also do the same thing with the Dow Jones Industrial Average and other major indices as well. What's really nice about the Dow Jones and the other indices is they've been catching support. Well, every time they catch support around the 50-day moving average, the blue line on the screen right now, it tends to bounce higher. So after the significant pullback we saw over the last few days, as soon as it caught that 50-day moving average, we bought in the DIA calls and watched it run even higher. What's also nice is sometimes dark pool data will include call or put options picked up on, let's say, the DIA, the Qs, and even the SPY, which can be a great indicator of what to look for in the markets. And here are some of the recent wins and losses that we have seen with Algo AI as well since late July. Again, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'm going to hang around until after the webinar is over, just to, if you need any help. Tech stock profits, which focuses primarily on tech stocks most recently. A lot of AMD, as you can see right there. Gaming stocks, for example, NVIDIA, We also like to trade quantum computing as well as artificial intelligence. Really anything that's hot in technology, we're going to look to trade it, especially if it's severely oversold or overbought. And in quick moves, trades that we like to see very, very quick turnarounds in, here's our list of recent winners and losers as well. You can see many times we do have solid wins, but every now and then we do have our pathetic losses, which we try to reduce as much as possible with our mental stop losses of between 35 and 40%. As for new trading opportunities, NVIDIA is probably one of my favorite trades at the moment. NVIDIA is trying to go positive today. It's been playing around with break even all day. With this one, we like the NVIDIA December 5th, 2025 200 calls, especially with earnings getting closer. We would like to see NVIDIA closer to the 225 as we near earnings over the next few days. A lot of Wall Street analysts have also been very bullish on NVIDIA heading into earnings as well, including Citi and TD Cowen, which just reiterated its buy rating this morning. So again, we do like the NVIDIA December 5th, 2025 200 calls at market. We also like AT&T here. You can see with this one, we are recommending that you buy to open the AT&T symbol T, December 19th, 2025, 25 calls. This one, as you can see, is severely technically oversold. The only reason that this pulled back was because of there were some competitive threats which were severely overblown in this situation. KeyBank Capital Markets upgraded the stock this morning to an overweight rating with a price target of $30 a share. As you can see, with this one, RSI, MACD, Williams percentage range are all on the floor, and AT&T is just beginning to pivot higher from its last traded price of about 25.18. Using this chart, we would like to see it initially retest 27.5 near term. Again, we like the AT&T symbol T, December 19, 2025, 25 calls at market prices today. And that's all I have for the moment. So I'm going to turn things back. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help.
Yeah, fantastic, Ian. Much appreciated. And hopefully you guys, a couple of trade suggestions from Ian there. I think you mentioned the NVIDIA $200 calls for December 5th and the AT&T, that's the $25 calls expiring December 19th, I believe you said it was. All right, so let's go into, let me take back the,
Oh,
so
sorry.
yeah, no, I got it. So you can see, make sure I've got the right. Yeah, I should see my slides now again. Let's go through the Options Trading University here and everything that comes with the services. You know, with the Options Trading University, you don't just get the trade alerts, right? Actually, I should cover the testimonials. So we got some great testimonials that come in for Ian. Some of these are for FFR, but Serge here said, I really like that I can have an additional form of income since subscribing to the option system. It's been successful and so easy that it feels like cheating. As my account grows, I definitely plan on adding additional non-correlated strategies, which will help to grow my account even more while still protecting my capital and profits. And that's one of the reasons that we, created the university for Ian and his programs, is because each one is a little different, and you get, a lot of non-correlated aspects that you get with, let's say, news events versus the dark pools in the algo program. Mark said, been following Ian Cooper's Algo AI recommendations since late November of 2024. So far, I've been profitable. The only reason I haven't given it 5 stars as of now is I need to see how results will turn out over a longer period of time. Well, Mark, you need to update that because I'm sure you've done even better than your start there. Lisa said, I'm in an auto trade account with signals sent from FFR Trading, and I couldn't be happier with my experience with signals generated by Ian Cooper's Algo AI research and with personal representative in Robert Lanusa. It has been a terrific experience. And with a 1 month return of 27%, with only 10% of my total account being exposed in any given position, I'm ecstatic about the prospects for my future security that FFR has given me. Gene said, I seeded the account with $10,000. I followed each of his, being Ian's, 10 recommendations over the past 2 months, albeit with some delayed entries because of my lack of familiarity with the broker's platform. But I couldn't be happier with the results. I started with small positions for an average of $880 per trade in the first month, and increased my position size to an average of $1,673 the second month. My 10 trades overall averaged $1,276 per trade. My account was up $3,510 in the first month, and now ending my second month up another $4,000. Total return for the 2 months for amounts traded has been 57.2%, with a total increase in my account of 62.7%. How can I not like those returns? Now I just wonder why I didn't discover Ian Cooper ages ago. Well, you're here. If this is your first introduction to Ian, all right, you're hearing it. Again, past performance can't promise future success, and trading does involve risk. So each trader's experience is unique to that trader. So a couple other reviews here. Satomi said, I've been using Ian Cooper's algo trading after starting with his Options Academy, and it's been a solid upgrade. Even when the market is down, I've had more good days than bad. The signals are clear, and the strategy holds up well in volatile conditions. Definitely worth it. Would recommend FFR trading anytime. All right, so some great reviews. Some of these probably are first time maybe you're hearing them, Ian, as well. So kudos to you. I know you've been killing it with all the programs. And again, that's why we brought the university, created the university to bring all your programs together to kind of create that synergistic approach. Each one hits a little different piece, and you combine them, and you get such great coverage in the markets here. So let's go over what you get with the Trading University as a subscriber. Of course, you get access to Ian for any trading questions regarding the markets and the methodology. You get the direct trade alerts to your email and/or cell phone. The education on the methodology, describing the entry rules, the exit rules, and the money management rules. So if you want to learn how to trade like Ian, right, you'll be able to do that. So we're not just feeding you a fish every day. We're trying to teach you how to fish, so you can do this yourself. You get access to the monthly newsletter and the weekly video market update, which I know our subscribers really love the weekly videos that you do, Ian. You do get access to third-party registered brokers. These are brokers that have been working with Ian's programs for many years. They've been trained to execute these trades on your behalf. If you're an individual who doesn't have the time to self-trade the signals, you can have a third-party registered broker do that for you. Just contact us, and we'll let you know what brokers work with Ian. We're broker neutral. You do get access to FFR trading here. And again, our job at FFR, when you speak to a strategist, they want to make sure that these programs are a good fit for you. And then they're going to build you a portfolio of strategies that are non-correlated, right? So if one strategy is performing well in a certain market, maybe another one isn't, you have some diversification there, right? The more programs, typically the better that you do with that diversification, and it helps smooth out that equity curve over time. Let's get into, so we kind of saved the best for last here, Ian, and that's the performance of the program. So we talked about what each is made up of each of the programs here. let's get into the performance. Now, when we talk about news event, which you covered in your presentation at the beginning there, that's averaging 23% per month. The annual average is 273%. It's winning 74% of the trades. The average winner is $736, the average loser $801, and a profit factor of 2.64. I think you covered pretty much in detail on Neta. Anything else you want to add to the performance numbers there, Ian?
No, we are looking at several new opportunities in Neta, including DraftKings, which is a bit oversold at the moment. DraftKings is a great way to trade the NFL season.
All right, excellent. So there's a heads up. So, call in and get started, as soon as possible, because he's got trades ready to go. With tech stocks, look at the monthly average, 19%. I mean, these numbers are amazing. And just think about, even if you do trade on your own, wouldn't it help to have some diversification outside of your own trading by getting into some of these programs? And obviously, if you're not a successful trader, well, then it even makes even more sense to utilize and lean on a professional like Ian. Getting these types of numbers can completely turn your trading around in a hurry. That is averaging annually 225%. Again, very high win rate, 72%. So it makes it easier to follow trades when the majority of trades coming through are winning trades. The average winner there is $910. The average loss just $472. Anything you want to add about tech stocks?
Tech stocks, one of our favorite trades right now is NVIDIA, especially heading into earnings with all the upgrades that we're seeing there.
All right, perfect. And then the quick moves, again, this is shorter term trades, that averaging 26% monthly, and the annual average 313%. That's winning 76% of the trades, with the average winner is just over $1,000. The average loss just $460. All right, so better than the 2-to-1 reward to risk on that one. What makes quick moves so successful, Ian?
We're just finding very fast opportunities. A great way to cheat with some of these trades is to really watch your most active stocks of the day, because you can find a lot of opportunities simply by watching, what's been the most explosive or what's been the biggest dud of the day. So you can really find some good opportunities by watching that as well.
All right, awesome. And then the Algo AI program, again, these are the premium programs that you have. That's averaging 24%, and the annual average return 294%. It's winning 82% of its trades. The average winner is $663. The average loss $812. Again, it's winning because of the high win rate, right? That's the average win and average loss is about the same, but it wins the vast majority of the trades, which makes it very easy to follow. And I know a lot of our clients just love that program, have a lot of success with that. Anything you want to add about Algo AI, your kind of latest program there?
Yeah, Algo AI is just a fun program. We're still digging through all the dark pool trades that we are being presented with today. Right now, we're seeing a significant amount of institutional interest in big tech names that are starting to rebound. And again, NVIDIA is popping up there too, because of earnings coming up.
All right, perfect. And then let's just go through some of the entry-level stats. Now, again, we say entry-level programs. You can see the performance does not lag, right? So the Trigger Point program, it's averaging 25% per month. Its average annual return at 299%. It's winning 73% of the trades. The average winner is $783. The average loser is $760. So about a 1-to-1 there, but it has such a high win rate there. Tell me a little bit about anything you want to add as far as performance or anything that goes with Trigger Point here.
Actually, before I jumped on the webinar and probably after, I'm just digging through the list of opportunities that I have in front of me as well. I'm seeing some opportunities again in AI, but also in quantum and biotech names as well.
All right, excellent. And then Triple Crown. Look at the monthly average here, 29%. it's averaging annually 349%, and the win rate 88%. The average winner $761, the average loser $590. Again, that's astounding numbers. You can't go wrong adding any of these programs, but combining them, I mean, the numbers just go through the roof. And I just want to mention that if you want more detailed performance statistics, just give us a call at FFR Trading. I'll put up the numbers after, and you can call in. You know, no obligation, just call and talk to a strategist. They'll give you all the information. They can show you brokerage statements from the clients that are in the programs and so on, so you can see how actual clients are doing in these programs. But just phenomenal numbers. It can completely revolutionize your retirement plan or your, you know, your options trading for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and enter the Q&A. Let's go over the Q&A session here with Ian. So guys, if you have questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll have Ian field those questions for you here. So get set to post those questions. Let's see. So someone was just reminding me to bring up the fact that we had a client in Algo AI, started I think with $40,000, took that account to over $85,000 this year, starting from February. Again, so wow. Another that just came in, was just posted there, so I'll get more information on that after we hang up here. So guys, if you have questions for Ian, let me get to those, and Ian, I'll pass these along to you as I field them here. Let's see.
Really nice to hear about.
Yeah, it's great to hear the success stories for sure. So Flip wants to know, how do you choose your options? I guess the program is probably a little different too.
Yeah, with options, I usually use in the money call option, either going out a month or going out, if I'm doing a weekly option, 2 to 3 weeks, or I'll do a monthly, or depending on the time frame of the catalyst I'm watching out, I could go out, you know, maybe 2 months at the very most.
All right, perfect. Let's see. Yeah, James, hopefully you saw the other programs that we offer on Ian's behalf here. So again, if you're interested, I'll put up the numbers here for you to call and get more information on those. Let's see. Mike wants to know, he says, it seems that the market moves much faster in the last few years. Do you think that contributes to QuickMove's performance being a lot better than the others?
It can be. There's just been, you know, lately the markets have been a giant roller coaster ride, you know, with the government shutdown and the tariff news, and a lot of back and forth with politics and geopolitics, and you know, you name it. It's just been a bit wild right now. So everything is a bit off kilter.
Yeah, Danny wants to know, why is Triple Crown considered entry level when it has the highest profit factor? I don't know if you want to field that one, Ian, or if you want me to answer that one. Or
Triple Crown is our weekly video that we either try to put out over a weekend or by Monday morning, the very latest. We're looking to expand that to, you know, additional videos throughout the week. But right now it's a once a week thing that we have out by Monday morning, the very latest, with 2 to 3 opportunities.
All right, perfect. And Daniel, stay tuned, because we'll show you how to get the program for free if you stay till the end here. Let's see. Aaron asks, if a similar trade is recommended in several of your programs, do you recommend allocating additional risk? Let me get cut off here. Additional risk to the same security.
You can. And the only reason we do like to sometimes share specific trades across the board, sometimes it's because the trade for us has looked so hot that we don't want anyone to really miss out on the opportunity that we're seeing. You know, with AMD, with NVIDIA, with some of the other AI trades, you know, we just didn't want to leave anybody out. So we kind of put those out across the board. But it's up to you personally if you want to add additional capital when you do see that. But we try not to do that crossover too often.
All right, excellent. And looks like Eric already has an Algo AI account. He was looking for more education. So Eric, what I would do is give our whoever your strategist is, or call in the FFR 800 number, and they can get everything you know that you're missing. I think they can get that to you. Just give us a call there. We'll help you with that. David asks, on average, how many trades per week with each service? You know, usually I have that in the PowerPoint. I didn't put it in this time here. Do you know off the top of your head, Ian, on your services, the kind of average number of trades for those?
Most recently, it's been about 2 trades a week per program, but the only reason that is happening is because of the volatility that we've been seeing in the markets. We'd like to issue many, many more trades than that, but we're just trying to, you know, protect accounts as well. We don't want to have too much exposure when the markets decide out of the blue to pull back on a non-news event.
All right, perfect. And then Autumn again wants to know how do you determine which calls have more time decay than others, or I guess which time decay decreases the price more significantly than others?
We're not really paying too much attention to that with our trades. We're kind of just going with whatever's you know, either in the money or deep in the money with each of our opportunities. But we are aware of the time decay issue as we hold a trade longer than we often do.
And I know we didn't talk about this. Mike was asking about stop losses. How do you manage typically manage the trades in these programs as far as the risk part of it goes?
It's been more of a mental stop loss of between 35 and 40%. However, if we do see a situation where the underlying security looks to be pivoting in the correct direction, we'll hold a bit longer. Sometimes that's proven to be unfortunately disastrous, but we try not to do that too often. And along the way, we'll also protect wins that we're seeing too.
All right, and looks like just one more here, and it's along the same lines. Walter wants to know, if a loss gets up to 50%, should we close the trade or keep holding it will turn, hoping it will turn around?
Well, we watch all of our trades very, very closely, and we'll let you know exactly when to get out, when we're just gonna, you know, wave the white flag with it.
Okay, looks like we just had some more questions come in, so let me just grab some more of these. Mike said, I might have missed it. What's the average hold time on the options? And it'll depend on the programs. The quick moves, obviously, you're holding shorter term, but some of the other programs you may be holding, you know, longer.
I would say on average, maybe a couple days to a month. We've had some trades turn around in 2 days. It really depends on what's happening in the overall market that particular day. Like with AMD, for example, AMD, we had call options again in news event. We put out the trade for Monday, and then today we took between 40 and 50% on those call options. So it can be very fast, or we're going to have to sit around and wait. Okay.
All right. And guys, I apologize just for time. We've got to move along, but if you have additional questions, just give us a call, the 800-883-0524 number. If you're outside the US, you can call the 737-292-4425 number and get your questions answered. No obligation there. Strategists will be able to help you out there. So let's look at the opportunity that we have for you today, how you can become a student at the Cooper Options Trading University, how to get enrolled. This is for the first 10 students. All right, so you do have to give us a call at the 800-883-0524 number, or again, the 737-292-4425 number should see those at the bottom here. I'll put them up in a little bigger font in just a bit here. So first 2 students, if you sign up for one of Ian's programs, we'll allow you to test drive, and that would be one of his premium programs. We'll allow you to test drive one of his entry-level services for free for 1 year. All right, so you were asking about like the Triple Crown program, which is considered an entry level. If you subscribe to one of Ian's premium programs, you can get that program for free for 1 year. Ian is also throwing in a $1,000 credit towards your tuition for your enrollment into a 2-year term. The key is you've got to call us. You do have to call us. We can go through in detail all the academics of the programs, performance. We can show you brokerage statements from clients that are in these programs, but you do have to call us. You have to call us because we do have to make sure it's a good fit for you. Right? These are not for everybody. We don't put people into programs that, this is why we don't just sell these online with a link where you can purchase it, because we need to physically speak to you to make sure this fits with your goals and is appropriate for you, okay? And that's the way we do business here. So again, be one of the first 10 callers. If you sign up for a 2-year program, one of the premium programs, you'll get one of the entry-level programs of your choice for free. And Ian's kicking in a $1,000 credit towards your tuition into a 2-year program. All right, so fantastic bonus there. Ian gave you the 2 trades. That was the NVIDIA December 5th $200 call options, and the AT&T, that was the December 19th expiration. That was the $25 buy to open call options, the 2 free trades there. All right, if you want to become a student of Ian's, if you want to, get Ian working for you and, be able to have these kind of numbers in your own financial world here, the only way to do that is to give us a call. All right, we're going to make sure, again, it's a good fit for you, but just give us a call, the 800-883-0524 number. Again, if you're outside the US, it's the 737-292-4425. Always you can call us, or you can email us at support@ffrtrading.com. Let's see, just checking my notes here because I want to make sure Ian, anything you want to add before we wrap up here?
No, I greatly appreciate everyone attending, and I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you'll join the team and make some money with us along the way.
Yeah, and I'll get that review over to you. Your university student that was trading algo and took a $40,000 account to over $85,000 this year, starting from February. I'll get that over to you because I know you want to see that. You love those client reviews. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Appreciate you taking the time. Again, this is your last chance to be one of those first 10. These spots do go fast. $1,000 credit. Ian's kicking in towards the 2-year program. If you purchase a 2-year premium program, he's going to give you one of the introductory level services for free for 1 year. All right, so it's great to diversify right off the bat like that. And this is, again, for a limited time because the spots are limited. All right, so on behalf of FFR Trading and Ian Cooper, thank you all for joining us today. Remember, trading success doesn't come from prediction, it comes from process. And this program and these programs were built to help you trade with clarity, structure, and confidence. We look forward to welcoming many of you into the Cooper Options Trading University family. Again, if you need to reach us, it's 800-883-0524 or the 737-292-4425. Until next time, trade smart, stay disciplined, and we'll see you in the markets.